Hey guys, it's Marshall here with Marshall's Guitar Lessons, and I've had a few people ask me about the musical alphabet. So this video is devoted to discussing the musical alphabet and in particular how it relates to the guitar. So let's grab a guitar and get started. Alright, so the musical alphabet is actually very simple. So long as you know the standard English alphabet, which goes from A to Z, and can remember two rules, then you'll be able to master the musical alphabet and apply it to your guitar playing. So the two basic rules, number one, is that the musical alphabet goes from A to G, but restarts after G and goes back to A. So it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and etc. like that, indefinitely. And the second rule is that all notes have sharps and flats between them, except for between B and C and between E and F. And it's that simple. So the picture down below, or the alphabet down below, shows what the musical alphabet looks like in writing. So the large notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A, the ones in larger font, are what are called natural notes. If you play keyboard or piano, they're the white notes on the piano. And all the notes in between them, which have sharps and flats next to them, sharps are they look like pound symbols and flats look like lowercase b's. Those are the black notes on the keyboard and effectively are the notes that fit in between the natural notes. So one way I like to think of sharps and flats is that if a note is sharp, that means it's halfway to the next note. And if it's flat, that means it's halfway behind the note. So let's look at A and B, for instance. You have A, and then it says A sharp and B sharp, and then, or B flat, excuse me, and then B. So A sharp and B flat are actually the same notes. A sharp is halfway beyond A, and B flat is halfway behind B. So by definition, they're the same notes. Same with C sharp and D flat, D sharp and E flat, F sharp and G flat, and G sharp and A flat. So you can say, let's play C sharp, and that's the exact same note as a D flat. One way that I've seen this used is in blues playing. A lot of blues players use the flats rather than the sharps, so they'll say, hey, play something in B flat. But really that means the same thing as A sharp. That's just something kind of interesting to note. So now that we have a grasp of kind of how the musical alphabet is laid out and the basic rules around it, let's look and see how it applies to the guitar neck and your guitar playing. So the grid here shows a neck of a guitar. And the strings are the lines which run horizontally, which are described over on the left. It shows at the very bottom the lowest string, which is the E string, and it goes up A, D, G, B, and ends on E, which is the highest string. And the lines which run vertically describe the frets. They start at 0, which is effectively not fretting anything at all. It's just playing an open string. And they go all the way to the right until you reach the 17th fret. So let's look at this and see how the alphabet actually applies. And let's look at the low E string. So if you just pluck your E string on your guitar, your lowest string, you're playing the note E. And if you want to go up a note, then you fret the next fret, which is the first fret. And if you do that, you're now playing the note F. If you look at the diagram above, remember there's no sharps between E and F. So the next note after E has to, by definition, be F. As you go up to the next note, it's F sharp or G flat, which are the same thing. You go up to the next fret or the next note, you go to G, you go up again to the next note or the next fret, and you're now playing G sharp or A flat. And remember, once you get to the end of the alphabet, the end of G, it just restarts. So now you go back to A. The next note, which is the 5th fret, is A. The following note and fret is A sharp and B flat. And this principle works on every string and on every fret. It just keeps going up until it restarts. And this concept can be very, very helpful for people who want to learn how to play bar chords, and also who want to solo. And I'll put a link in the description, which will, when it's up, take you to a couple videos discussing that. So let's look at the D string, for instance. Again, this principle applies to every string. So you start with the D string, you play an open note just by plucking the string, and it plays D. The next fret up, which is the next note, goes to D sharp or E flat. The next note is E. The next note is F after that, because again, there are no sharps or flats between E and F. And so on and so forth as you go up the neck. So now I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to cut to my actual guitar. Then I'm going to show an exercise that you can do, which will help you memorize the different notes on the guitar neck. So this exercise involves finding the same notes on two different strings. And I recommend just throwing out random notes and trying to find them on all different strings. But let's start with an easy one like G. And let's do it on the E string and the D string. So first let's find G on the E string. Well, obviously the E string starts with E, so E. The next one is F. Remember, there's no sharps or flats between E and F. And then F sharp, which is the same thing as G flat, so you know you're getting close to G. And then G is right here, the third fret of the low E string. So now let's find it on the D string. Well, we obviously know the D string is D, D sharp, E. We know there's no sharps or flats between E and F, so we'll just go straight to F, F sharp, and finally G. And a good way to train your ear and to train your muscle memory on this is to then play both the notes, both the same notes, both G, in the two different locations. So we'll play G here and G here. And it'll be pretty obvious to know that you're right or not. It's an easy test, because if it sounds like the same note, then you did it right. So I'll include a diagram of the musical alphabet and the picture that I showed earlier in the comments section, and you can look at that, fill it out if you would like, fill out all the notes on the neck. That's great practice. And then also go through and try different notes on different random strings and try and sync them up and match them. It's a great exercise. So if you guys like this video or videos like this, please remember to comment, subscribe, and like it. And I love to hear from you guys and suggestions, so please make them, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.